All right, here we are back. Edward Pritchett here with Tim Schucker. It is amazing to be able to work with great people in the industry. And Tim, I count you as one of those people, man.
I
Like
appreciate it, brother.
we've been had the opportunity to work together here over the past, call it 4 months,
Something like
more
that. Yeah,
more
yeah.
intently. But we've
Yeah.
known of each other for quite a while. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you did this for me, and I want to reciprocate this. But like, I want the people who are watching here on Life Insurance Today to understand who are we talking to? Who is Tim Schucker, and like, what have you done? What has been the thing that has allowed you to not only build an agency, you cut your teeth, right, in good old fashioned door to door sales when it comes to life insurance.
Yeah.
You built an agency. You're the marketing that you do around advanced markets is absolutely genius. Like
Yeah.
it is paying dividends already for my agents on the annuity side. I'm looking forward to testing out some more things. Like we're
Yeah.
just getting started, which is
Yeah.
we always keep saying that, but like I love the
True.
fact that we
Good-
can just
good
keep
way
getting
to-
started.
Good mindset to keep. For sure.
So yeah, I mean, how did you get? And we're gonna get to like you let them know we're gonna talk about something in this. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We'll keep our promises on that. But what was it like for you getting started in this industry? You're down here with me in Puerto Rico right now, like looking for houses.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't typically happen at most people's jobs, and you can't be more than what 17, 18.
23 at the moment. Yeah. My birthday is actually, this is a weird fact, 9/11/2001.
Okay.
So no one forgets my birthday once they hear it. So that's always nice. But yeah, man, appreciate the kind words. Appreciate the intro. Basically, got into the industry in 2021.
Okay.
My best friend and business partner, Julian, who's also on our own channel, we co-own Advanced Agent Marketing. He was a waiter, got recruited into the business, and we were talking about it in my basement, as all good things start in the basement, and was basically kind of just telling me like what the opportunity was. It sounded interesting, and it turns out what we were actually doing is we were doing door-to-door final expense sales with direct mail Walmart gift card leads, which basically means you send in a mailer. It says send this back within 5 days, get a free Walmart gift card. We would show up. The Walmart gift cards were $5. Most of the people thought they were 50. So that was an interesting way to start the conversation. And then we would sell them final expense. The whole goal was like to get into Medicare and annuities, but that didn't really happen.
Okay.
It wasn't really like the knowledge wasn't really there for us to get into that side of the business. Chargebacks were horrible. It was really fun while we were doing it. Like we were working 80 hours a week, knocking doors, doing everything. It was like my college experience because me and a bunch of my buddies did it. But then after about 8 or 9 months, one of the guys who we were doing it with, he was $15,000 in credit card debt.
Okay.
Another one of our friends, he ended up going to the military because he was just so burned out on insurance. He just got back from
That's kind of bad when you're like insurance or the military.
Insurance,
I'm gonna go
or Syria, and he chose Syria. And then another one of our friends went to college and ended up dropping out a few years later, but he was like done with insurance. So everyone had a horrible taste in their mouth. For whatever reason, me and Julian, so stubborn and hard-headed, we were like, no, we're going to figure this thing out. So
sometimes that's what it takes when it comes to building a business of your own in general,
yeah,
and certainly in the insurance industry. Sometimes you just have to be stubborn and hard-headed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get it done.
Without question, that's definitely true. So we realized like the biggest problem that we were facing is like with the marketing that was being put out, it was attracting the wrong type of people. And one of the biggest lessons that I learned from that and that I carry forward in everything else is like the quality of your marketing determines the quality of your customer, and the quality of your customer determines the quality of your business and then ultimately your life, So if you're selling to people that are constantly charging back and expecting free hands out and the expectations are totally misaligned, like that's how you're making your income and that's what dictates what your livelihood is. And so I realized like I had experience with marketing before that, like I did e-commerce, but I realized like I really needed to understand how to generate my own leads and do it in a way where I can get the right people.
Gotcha.
And so basically, our idea, because we saw the big opportunity in the Medicare side of the business, is we were going to basically start a YouTube channel. We actually created the YouTube channel, posted like 3 videos. It was going to be called Medicare Mastered, and we were going to post content and get leads to sell Medicare and then like cross-sell annuities and stuff.
Okay.
And what happened is we decided we were going to leave the IMO we were at, and we found a different place we were going to go. All of a sudden, we get a letter in the mail, or it was like an email, that they're holding our contract. So we were basically locked out of the business for 12 months.
Ooh, they got you for 12?
With Medicare, because you have to have everything done by a certain period of time, or you can't do AEP.
Before AEP, got you.
So it was like, with the timeline, we were going to be locked up for 6 months, which means that we couldn't sell until basically January of the next year. So that whole dream went down the toilet. We were like, all right, cool, what are we going to do? So we tried to start a couple e-commerce stores. That didn't work out. And then I remember I was watching a YouTube video from a guy who was helping agents with lead generation. I'm not going to name the person, but I remember watching the video and thinking, if this guy can do it, I think I can probably figure this out. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. But if anyone's worked,
yeah, don't name him.
Yeah. But there's a lot of marketers out there where it's like, when I got into doing the marketing on the insurance side, it's like what people were doing was so like caveman-like that it was insane to me. Coming from other industries, the marketing is way more sophisticated.
And this would have been what, like 2023?
2022.
2022?
Yeah. So I sold insurance like most of 2021, and then in 2022 we left, and that's when like this whole thing started. So I remember going out and trying to figure out how to do the marketing. And we started doing it for final expense. And we started helping out a bunch of agents, but we kept seeing like the same problem over and over, is like, no matter how low we could get the lead cost, at one point we were getting leads for 77 cents each on Facebook. And even at that,
don't go looking for those.
that doesn't exist anymore.
It's not there.
It doesn't exist anymore. But in 2022, you could get Facebook final expense leads for 77 cents a pop.
Jeez.
And we had a course called The Secrets to 77-Cent Facebook Leads, where we teach people how to get cheap leads. But no matter how like low we could get the leads, we're still having the same problem, which is like all these agents, they would generate all these leads and they would make sales, and it would be like 20x ROI or whatever. Makes a great YouTube video, but then a few months later we'd hear like they're out of the business. And it's like, what's going wrong? And so we realized like the big problem is that when you're selling to the final expense market specifically, you're basically basing your entire business on, and I mean this like, I have nothing against people that buy final expense. Like some of the best people I've ever met was selling door-to-door final expense. But from a business perspective, you're staking your income, your family's income, the lifestyle you're going to live on selling to the most desolate, like broke, unhealthy people in America, and you're betting your paycheck on them paying their bill and living long lives.
Yeah.
Which
and I would say
doesn't make a ton of sense.
Without the education.
Correct.
Like that person can certainly make but it's like it's a sell and then you're gone. And maybe there's some of y'all final expense folks that are doing this.
Yeah.
They're not having long-term communication with these folks. They're not saying, hey, let's get you into this Healthy Advantage program and like make sure that you're like, that's not happening.
No.
And then you see the business go that way and you wonder, well, what did you expect?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's also like, if someone's 62 years old and they've been smoking and drinking Mountain Dew their whole life, like the likelihood that you're going to change the entire trajectory of their life, like it's not impossible, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
And so realized that. I had a final expense free lead program for a while. We scaled that to like 100K a month in like 85 days. And that wasn't what I had expected it to be. And so really just kind of like, I would say I've been in and around the insurance industry for the last like 4.5 years almost. And basically just learned all of the wrong things to do and basically stumbled my way around until I found what I now believe is like a much better opportunity in the industry. But one thing I always try to do is like, I was just talking to my business partner before like you came to the pool and we started filming, is like, I feel like the insurance industry, like you can't know what the best opportunity is when you just get in, because you don't even know what the opportunities are. It's like, if you don't know how to play chess and you're trying to play chess, you're not going to win at chess. So like, I think what a lot of people do is they just get in and then whatever is the first thing that they see is like, that's all they do. But if you really want to like build long-term wealth in the industry, like I think you should get in, do something that's working for you, And then you should meet, network, and talk to as many people as you can to understand the full game that you're playing.
Agreed.
And so that's something I've been trying to do a lot more recently.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I see it happen all the time, and it's why you see people hop from place to place to place to place to place.
Yep.
Right. But before you keep hopping, spend some time. Like one of my early mentors told me, be a student of the business.
100%.
And if you're a student of the business, like one thing I will say, no matter what IMO, captive organization, FMO that I've ever looked at, someone is being successful there.
Yeah.
So if someone's been successful there, you can be successful wherever you are. Does that mean that's where you need to be for the rest of your career? Not necessarily.
Right.
But while you're becoming successful where you are, be a student of the business and find out what is the thing that's going to give you passion, purpose about this industry, because it is a significant industry. And that's what I continue to see. I see you do. It's been great to get to know you and Rachel, like while you guys have been here, and like just even over the phone, like while we're at conferences, right? Like industry conferences together. What is one of those things where, like, you work with a lot of different organizations? What is one of the unifying things that you've seen where you're like, I know this is a successful organization because it has these characteristics or traits? So maybe for someone who's watching and they're looking to get into the industry, what are some things you've seen successful people at multiple different organizations? Because you, as a marketer, like you market for people, like you don't, any IMO person that comes to you that says, hey, I want to market, I want to do this, you work with them. What are some of those characteristics or traits that you've seen or you've noticed during your time in the industry where you're like, I know this is a place where people can be successful because they have these characteristics or traits?
A successful agency, you're saying?
Successful agents or agencies, yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like being open-minded, the agency being open-minded. Like, I'm not going to name the specific organization or the specific agent, but there was a guy who came to me and he was like, hey man, like he had seen success with us and he called me. He's like not freaking out, but like he was in a state where like it was very urgent.
Okay.
He's like, hey man, like I need you to take down that video that I posted with you, like talking about the success that I saw, because my agent, it goes against the narrative that my agency is pushing. And so their agencies, like they only do direct mail and they only do final expense face-to-face. And he had
one way the highway. What's that? Yeah, like
exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like, you have to do it this way. And basically he was talking about how he had sold like a big advanced market policy all virtually over the phone with Facebook leads. And so his IMO was like hounding him like, hey, you can't have this out there. Like this is costing us money, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
is it costing them money? Like really?
Well, they could also just contract those agents, but it's like,
yeah.
One thing I really like working with guys at Symmetry is like, they're very open-minded and they're just like, I guess the best way to put it is like, I want to work with people who don't care about being right. They care about being rich, you know? That's a saying I got from a mentor of mine. And like that for me, because at the agency I started with, it was like, they had a lead drought for months during AEP when we were supposed to build up this whole renewal base. I was like, why don't we do Facebook ads? And they're like, Facebook ads doesn't work, just work the system. It's like, guys, like, I'm not that guy that's just gonna be like a cog in the wheel. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And so I think agencies that don't care about being right, they care about being rich and making their agents rich. That's the best thing. It's like, if it's a cult where it's like, you have to do this or you're wrong, that's where I think people get into trouble.
One old mentor of mine used to tell me, everything works some of the times.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're like, no, this is the only thing that, I'm sorry, you're wrong. But if you want to be right, you can be right, but you won't be rich.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's a good one.
I think there's like an Ayn Rand, I don't know how to say her name, but there's like a book about that. You know, like what is it called? Something like with a light bulb.
Oh, like one of those like Anthem or.
Yes, Anthem.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You know, it's like, no, you have to make candles. It's like, what if there's a light bulb?
What about the light bulb?
Yeah. It's like things are always changing. So the agencies that can't adapt, but like Symmetry and there's a lot of IMOs, but especially like I can speak specifically to Symmetry because I do a lot of work with people there, is like they're very tech focused and tech oriented, which I find to be a very positive trait. And they're always looking for like what's going to be the best thing to forward us.
Yeah. Well, I can say it. I will say I believe we're going to be the ones leading the charge for the tech side of insurance moving forward.
Yeah.
We are going to be the fintech. I don't talk a lot about our IMO on this channel. I want it to be as open. This isn't a platform just promoting symmetry and quality, but like that is something that I certainly believe that like that's going to be the thing that we help hopefully change in this industry, because like people do get frustrated with technology in the industry, and it's like, well, you can get frustrated or you can find a way to build with it and have it grow what we can do.
I agree.
Well, I want to get to this one so that we can answer the question that we talked about on your podcast a little while back. What can someone do if they're entering this industry right now to take the most advantage of the current landscape? Like from your seat on the bus, like you have a great eye on the marketing, what's happening on Facebook. Like I've learned from you from Facebook, AI, like you have a great eye for that. You're also seeing it from an agent's perspective and building an agency. So you have these two lenses that you're able to look at. If you're a new agent or you've been in the industry for 20 years, what would you be telling people? And I love this, that like someone who's been in the industry for 5 years, 5-ish plus years, you, because of your thirst for knowledge about like how to make this thing really work, and you've iterated multiple times, like you have experience of someone who's like 10 years of doing that or more. And you're seeing around corners that some people didn't even know existed. So what could you share with them that they could be doing right now to take the most advantage of the current landscape, like where we are in the insurance industry?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say like to go on what you're saying, and then I'll address it directly, is like the more you consume, like what we were talking about with the chessboard, like until you know how to play the game, it's like I like literally all I do all day long is like consume information or work. Like I guess it's just the way I'm wired. Like I just get bored otherwise. But like if I'm like walking, I'm listening to a podcast or something. And it's about marketing, sales, business. Like you got to understand the whole game to be able to see around the corners.
Yeah.
So that's what I like. First thing is like, I'll tell you what I think, but also like I think people should make their own opinions and find their own opportunities, because I have a different way of seeing things. And it's like, what's the best opportunity for you based off of your skill sets? All like it all depends on the person, you know?
Agreed.
But I would say like the way that I see the industry going is like, for one, you want to look at like macroeconomic trends. So for example, there's all this stuff going on with AI. I would 100% want to be keyed in and tapped into what's going on there. But then also you have this like retirement boom. We got all these baby boomers, like 11,400 people turning 65 a day.
It keeps increasing. It was 10,000 a day whenever I got into the industry. That it keeps going up.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And I remember I did a podcast with Tom Hegna maybe a couple months ago, and he was talking about how Ernst & Young put out this study where they said the perfect retirement portfolio is 30% whole life insurance, 30% annuities, and 40% stocks. So like 60% of their portfolio.
Ernst & Young, like look it up.
Yeah, like one of the top.
No small time CPAs right there.
Yeah, it's not. They don't even sell insurance, and so it's like they're telling baby boomers to put 60% of their money into insurance products. It's like, how can you tap into that? It's not going to be by selling a final expense policy, you know? And so that's kind of like where I look at it, is like, if you can learn about those things, position yourself in the proper way where like you're an expert that helps people in retirement. That's something that I see as a big opportunity. And then also like I talk to a lot of health insurance guys, and like there's so much private equity money like coming into the industry. If you are able to basically get big commissions from like insurance and annuities, and then sell some form of a product that has a recurring element, I think you can, like, I think that's how like billionaires are going to be made in our industry.
I like that phrase though, billionaires made in our industry. Like that's coming. And one thing that I always let people know is like what you receive in the forms of monetary and resources that come back to you. is 100% predicated on the value that you add to others,
100%.
right? Perceived or otherwise. Like there's something like, well, that person's not, well, no, the people who are consuming it think that's valuable. So that's why they're getting what they're getting, right?
Right.
The great thing, we know that with what we get to offer and add value to people with, it truly can and will help them have that better retirement, have the legacy passing, battle through a cancer diagnosis with money in their pocket versus going bankrupt because of a medical issue. So now that's dead on. If you're listening to this and you're not taking that as your mindset for how to approach this business right now, you may want to rethink some things. Just go back and just meditate on what Tim just shared. Well, as we wrap up, should we tell them the secret?
100%.
Should we tell them the secret to, well, should we tell them now? Like maybe
you want to keep going?
Next time you come back to Puerto Rico, we can tell them.
There we go. No, I think we should tell them. So Edward, I know at the end of the video we just filmed before, we were talking about the biggest tip or secret, or what your biggest piece of advice would be in terms of how you scaled your agency to the point that you're at. Like what's been like the number one thing that's allowed you to do that?
This one I can answer very simply, and I know 100% without a doubt that people who do this, they're the ones who I see win all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to sell out 100% yourself. Like the best salespeople, I don't care what industry you're in, like the best roof door-to-door salesmen, like they crazily believe in the value of their product. Like to the point of almost delusional, like in some senses.
Yeah.
But with what we have, like I knew and I saw that my business started to slip, both personal and as my agency, when my focus and belief and involvement in this industry started to wane. Whenever I was 100% in and like it was what I dreamed about, what I slept and I'm just thinking about insurance. I wake up and I'm journaling about, like I'm going to conferences. I'm just finding where can I not only engage, but then also participate, right? Because there's a lot of people, I don't consider myself a fan of insurance, right? Like I'm a fan of the Carolina Panthers, unfortunately.
Same.
And I have seats there. I go and I watch, but like there's nothing I can do to change what happens on the field. I can scream as loud as I want to, and I feel involved. You know, like I feel just as upset when they lose as they probably do. At least I think I do. But like to be a participant, like you're on the field. You're going to run plays. You show up to practice and you show up to the game. So it's like I want to see myself as an actual player in the game. Right? This isn't a hobby for me. This isn't like, let me try out, because I've heard this from people. I'm just trying to see if this is going to work and see if I can make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Please go to another industry, right? Like definitely don't come work with me, because like it's not going to work out well, because we're going to have some very different vibes. So if you're wanting to build a large agency, it's what do you need to hear? What do you need to find out? What do you need to learn to be 100% sold out to this industry?
Yeah.
Right? For me, it was after this event happened, but I graduated from college, 2005. That summer, my mother passed away, and we got a death benefit paid out by Modern Woodmen of America. And I remember the agent, still know the agent's name to this day, and will always remember his name, when he brought those two policies to our family and let us know, hey, Edith had these policies. Like we didn't even know that they existed. My dad did not know that those policies existed. That changed everything. Like things were not good. Things were bad, right? Like you don't expect your mother at age 51 to pass away. You got two siblings still in college, two siblings still in high school. Like it was not a fun time for us. But without that, things would have been totally different. And I was in this industry for 2 years before I really connected the dots on how important of an event that was for my family. But when I connected the dots on that, from that point on, I was like, I have to help people with this product one way or the other. And hopefully you don't have to have that be the story that lets you get to that point, but you have to get to that point where you understand that people need what we do. This is significant work that we do. And when you get there and you put 100% of yourself in it, you will be successful. Like I guarantee that. So that's the one thing if you're looking for one.
100%. You can't. No quality of sales skills can beat conviction.
Nope, not
by
at
any
all.
means.
Not at all. Well, hope you all are taking, like, I hope you got copious notes and that you're going to take and actually put those to work, because we want more people to be successful in this industry, because it means more families are being helped across this nation. We don't need all y'all to move to Puerto Rico. We're going to let Tim come. Y'all got to find some other place. I'm kidding. If y'all want to come to Puerto Rico, well, we'll talk. We'll talk. But Tim, appreciate you being on my channel and
Absolutely.
working
Thanks
with
for
us.
having
And
me.
yeah, look forward to doing a lot more here over the next little
100%.
bit.
Sounds
You
good.
guys take care out there at Life Insurance Today. We'll see you next time.
Peace.